Hello and welcome to Organic Cardboard. My name is Owen Kneep, and today I would like to do a little comparison video for you of the Castles of Burgundy. So a lot of people are now receiving their copies of the special edition of the Castles of Burgundy. And now the reason why people purchased a game that's been redone a few times is because this was such a deluxeified version of the game. It was a lot prettier, a lot new artwork, a lot larger. They had miniatures that you could purchase if you wanted to have like a miniature for each one of these tiles that you would normally place on your duchy. If you're familiar with Castles of Burgundy, which I would assume that you are if you're looking at a comparison video, you have like a duchy that's got all these little hexagonal pieces that will represent like either animals that you have, like livestock, or all the different buildings. And so there were like miniatures that came with this, or that you could purchase for this game that represent each one of those. A lot of like neat things, and then even the base just set of this version also came with miniatures for the castles, different ones for each one of the player types. It bears like a comparison of the two, I would think. This is the latest edition of Castles of Burgundy before this one came out. This one came out in 2019. It's referred to as the 20th anniversary edition of Castles of Burgundy, even though it was originally, the game itself was originally released, the first edition, in 2011. So the reason why they call it the 20th anniversary edition is because Aaliyah, I guess is the people that originally created the game, were having their 20th anniversary, and so they wanted to call it the 20th anniversary edition. And I guess 20th sounds a little bit more exciting than like 8th year edition. But this version came with all of the expansion content up until the newest edition that came with this like Vineyard, like a little winery kind of expansion that I have not delved into yet. I'm not sure exactly how all that works, but we do have those tokens to look at as well. Now, I did, when I purchased this, I got the acrylic hexes that came for the game that replace all of the hexes that you would normally have. Like a lot of people would put these in bags. The game itself doesn't come with, the original older games I don't believe came with bags to put your hexes into. They would just say to shuffle them all and put them in a pile, and then like, you know, grab them randomly that way, which is a little messy. Most people put them in bags. Since you're pulling things out of bags and they're cardboard hexes normally, I thought the acrylic hexes was a good idea to you know, keep them from getting damaged as you're banging them around and fiddling around in there, because eventually they are going to get damaged. Now I have already put the acrylic hexes into this box, and they actually do fit pretty well in there. So this has all of my cardboard versions of the tokens. Now I'm going to go ahead and open these up. We'll take a look at some of the comparisons just of the different hexes themselves. I'm going to use this overhead camera for zooming in, so it should work pretty well. We're still getting used to this new camera that I've got. So let's go ahead and before I open the big box, I'm just going to pull out some of these cardboard hexes. So maybe you can go ahead and get an idea for what the cardboard tokens look like before I start pulling out the acrylic tokens, which I'll go ahead and say right now are a lot nicer. Even though these cardboard hexes that came with the special edition have some nice like text on the back that will explain all of the different things that each one of these buildings might do, or the way that they're scoring points. Now the acrylic versions don't have those, but the older version of Castles of Burgundy did not have those either. So let's pull out, let's see if we can find one of these animals here that is the same as one here. So I've got one of the cows. I believe all of these cows are the same. I want to find one that's got a 4 on it, since I've got a 4 cow sitting out here. Oh, there's one. Okay, cool. So let's take a look, and let's see if this overhead camera is going to work pretty good for me, so I don't have to reach out so far. Let's see if we can zoom down into that guy. Yeah, this will probably work. All right. So first thing you'll notice is that they're larger. And they have quite a bit different artwork on them. So, like just these cows, for instance, you have more of a dairy cow style as opposed to these, I don't know, I guess it's another type of dairy cow, but it's a little more brown, which is also pretty. But the artwork is just a little nicer here. They've also got like a slight linen finish. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on this camera. This thing's a little slow to adjust. Let's put it up here. But they do have a little bit of a linen finish. You're probably not going to be able to see that really well on the camera. These other ones, though, from the 20th anniversary do not have that. And then again, you're going to have that text on the back of these tokens that you do not have on the original ones, or again on the acrylic versions of the latest special edition. So that's just one example. Maybe we'll look at one or two more hexes and then we'll move on. So let's see, we've got there's a couple building tiles. I wonder if we can find one of the same building tiles here. Okay, well here's one. So the market, you've got an example of the way this market's going to look. So quite a bit different artwork. It's just more developed on these newer tokens. I guess I am going to still be reaching forward because I don't trust that overhead camera just yet. But you can kind of see there's just a lot nicer artwork. Again, you got text on the back that tells you what they do. Otherwise, they're similar enough, like you can kind of pick up the same images and figure out what you're looking at. Maybe we'll do, let's just look at like the boats and the castles and we'll be done looking at these hexes. Because those, I know at least, are going to all be the same. Oops. So I put bags in this version here that did not come with them. Now, since you have the miniatures, I don't really know why they even added the red hexes. I guess just if you didn't want to have to get those miniatures out. They put red hexes for castles in the new one, but they're green in the old one. So quite a bit different. These ones are. I think they're a lot prettier, the newer castles that are coming out. I guess that's focusing okay. Yeah, a lot prettier. Again, text on the back. You just have another castle on the back of this one because this isn't one of the hidden tokens. So they did give you castles in the new version, even though they've got miniatures, they still have the hexes for them. You have black tiles, I guess, that would have the hexes anyways. And let's see, I color-coded some of these bags that don't necessarily represent the colors of the hexes that were in them. Okay, so boats definitely look better. Yeah, like a real little naval style, nice little sailboat on the big one. You can see I can't remember how big these are. They're not quite twice as big, but still pretty substantially larger. Again, you got your text on the back. Just a boat on the back of the other one. Okay, so let's move on past the hexes and see what else we got that's different between these two. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Let's go ahead and open up the actual box. So maybe we could pull, I'll just leave that right where it's at. Okay. So one thing you'll notice right away, we'll just look at the top of the boxes too. Look how much larger this box is. Quite a bit bigger. So, I mean, I would say it's like between like 3 to 4 times the size of the older box. So if you do have this old version, it's possible that you might want to keep it because of its portability. I probably won't, because anytime I'm going to be playing Castles of Burgundy, I'm going to want to play with my new copy. But if you're somebody that really likes Castles of Burgundy, you like to take it over to people's houses, and you're not so worried about showing off your extra special version, you might use the 20th anniversary edition, which is still really nice for what it is. But let's go ahead and pull some stuff out here. So, get some eggs out. Let's see. I'm going to probably take a moment just to have to compare these two things to see which things match up with what, because some of the stuff looks a good bit different. So one thing we'll compare, since it's on the top, is the rule book. These rule books are pretty thin on the original version. I say original, I'm really meaning, let's flip this up in a way that the camera's going to see it best. These are pretty thin. They put several of these rule books in this this version, so they have all the different language versions in there as well. You probably couldn't fit all that in this one. This has got really thick, like that kind of, I don't know what you call it, parchment paper, that like resume style paper. It's pretty thick stuff. I think the rule book looks a lot nicer. It's kind of got that slightly rustic feel to it, the way that it's kind of dulled off from the type of paper it is. It's not that shiny paper, but I enjoy that aesthetic of that. Certainly better looking than the old, like, kind of pulp. It's kind of like that Pulp Fiction comic book style, real thin material that came with the 20th anniversary edition. So let's look at the map. Take a look and see what we got here. I'm just going to make a big mess on my table and just toss things off to the side as I need to. Okay. So, let's see, is there two sides to this? Yeah, there's two sides. Huh. Okay. So they must have put one of the player counts on the other side. They don't have as many black marks on the new one as they do on the older one. But you can kind of see some of the art work. Now this is still really pretty. The 20th anniversary edition, I think, is still very pretty. It's very bright. It's brighter than the new one is. The new one, it's still got that like art style to it, like an artistic kind of style, but it's like a little more dull. The colors are a little bit more muted in it, but still very pretty though. It's kind of got that viticulture kind of dullness to it, and I say dull, but I mean like the hues, just a little of that kind of duller range. Not dull in that it's not pretty though. It's still quite pretty. So those are the game boards. Now you do have the back of it. I'll go ahead and show the difference between those two. I'm not sure why one is set up differently than the other as far as the black hexes in the middle, but essentially the same thing on either side, just a little bit different for the higher player counts. Okay. And then we have the, I guess these are, I can't remember if this is for like solo or something, these really large flat boards. These are like the big duchy boards, or if you got like teams, I'm not sure. I didn't really delve into all the random like different variations of Castles of Burgundy, but I thought they had something that was similar with the, yeah, there we go. Well, here's half of, okay, there's a couple of pieces here. Yeah, so they have like, on the old one, they've got this long board. Again, I can't remember if this is like playing in a team setting, like a co-op. I think that might have been what that was for. And then they have the other version though. So I'm showing you all the like kind of basic stuff first. We'll get to the prettier stuff here shortly. Yeah, I'm not sure where the pieces are that fit together, how they fit together, but we'll just show just one side here, just as a comparison. Yeah, that's just one of the Duchy boards. So this is like bypassing the those nice insert dual layer boards to be able to do one of these variations. I guess it was just like probably too much maybe for them to want to add that in, or maybe they didn't think of it's, you know, it's kind of a lot to put a whole extra dual layer board that's really huge in the game just for one little like version of the game that people hardly ever play. Yeah, so they got a handful of those variant boards. So let's look at these dual layer boards. Now these aren't even in the version of the old one. This is part of what takes up some of the room in the game, in the box. But these are really nice. They've got dual layers on them. So I'm gonna make sure I got to put everything upside down for this camera to look right. But you got a nice spot for the Duchy board to go into. So the old one, let's see if I can find one of the basic Duchy boards. Now I've got all these weird ones in my hand. So the old one just had a board that was like this. And you did all your stuff. You had places for everything. It was still perfectly fine. Just a flat kind of, what do you call this, poster board stuff. Worked just fine, but this is one of the nicer components to the new version. So I'm going to dig down into this game and find the things that fit into that. Okay, so this is really cool. You've got, I think this is right side up. So you've got this little insert that you can put into that dual layer board. Looks really nice, fits in there really well. And then you've got these little hex like holders that keep your hexes from shifting around. And that's going to look really nice holding everything together. I'm looking forward to getting this on the table, actually play with it and see how that feels to play with. But this is really nice because you can just fit any of your little hex pieces right down into there. And while we're pulling that out, let's go ahead and take a look at the hexes themselves that are the acrylic versions. This game did come with bags, which is really nice. So most of these are actually already bagged for me. Whenever I want to pull them out, they weren't bagged when I got the game. I had to bag them myself, but that's really nice. So you can just grab them and got them ready, shake them up, and figure out where they go. So these acrylic hexes I really like. They're nice and thick. They feel good in your hand. They've almost got that domino kind of feel to them a little bit. They're like a real smooth, shiny plastic. They've got a nice shiny image of whatever the particular hex is that you're looking at. But I really like these. I really like the way they feel. Again, they don't have the little like wording on the back that shows what each one of these hexes does, but they do have a nice, let's see if I can find it without knocking everything over here. They do have a nice set. Oh, where did I hide that at? I know where I put it. They got these helper cards. I feel like at some point in this video, I'm going to end up tossing all this stuff on the floor on accident because I'm pulling out these really heavy sets here of trays. So in this version, they've got a nice helper aid that pretty much takes the place of all that stuff that you see on the back of those hexes. You don't really need those. This is really quick and easy to look at. You've got everything that you need to see what any one of the pieces does. Very quick to look at. A lot better than the older version. I should just keep one of these out so I can pull it out. So this one, you had to like flip through, find where it was at. There's you had to go through each one of these different pages for all these different, each one of these things does. And it was a lot more of a pain in the butt where you're flipping through. Now they did have, once you start to kind of figure out what all the stuff does, the old version, the 20th anniversary, I'm going to keep calling it the old version, even though it's not that old, but it's and it's not the oldest version, but I'm just going to refer to it as the old version and the new version just to make it easier. This one, though, you did have a little player aid card here that was nice. You know, it was made out of cardboard, and once you started to learn what these symbols meant, then you could kind of reference that. If you were a little confused, you could look at this and find most of the stuff pretty quick. You did have to look up all the monasteries, which is a little bit of a pain in the butt. You had to look those up in the book still, but it was still handy. It was worth helping. It had a little aid too to help with counting up points and things like that too at the end. But this is much nicer, I think. You do have spots for all of the different monasteries on the back. That looks like it's going to be very quick and easy to reference. So I guess we could pull out a couple more of these hexes to just show what our duchy is going to start looking like as things are getting filled up. That's funny. I just happened to pull out 3 cows right next to each other. And you've got these black tokens, and they've got they got the little mark on the bottom to show that they're black, even though they've got that black rim to them on the back. Again, these things just feel nice in your hand. I really like the acrylic tokens. I kind of, I backed off on backing the acrylic versions of all the other pieces that you didn't really need, the stuff that wasn't going to be shuffled around as much, like the workers and what else? There was a bunch of other little cardboard tokens, little point scoring tokens, and some of the stuff that came from the expansion, different expansion content in the game. I kind of wish I would have backed those though, because I have seen a video where it shows how you can actually, relatively comfortably get it all into the box without it being too big of an ordeal too. And I love the way these things feel so much that I kind of wish I would have done that, but still unnecessary. I'll probably pick it up later. Might even get it cheaper, who knows. Probably won't, I don't know. It'd probably be just as expensive. But let's see. Since we got this camera sitting right here on it, why don't we go ahead and look at a couple of the building tiles. So you got a couple more different styles of building tiles in here. Towers. Yeah, very pretty. It's a very pretty game. The game was already pretty, and it's just prettier now. So those look nice. I really enjoy that. We'll just leave that there for now. I'll put this up later. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else to compare on the old version of those particular pieces. But we do have the shields. Shields was one of the expansions. I'm just kind of grabbing stuff randomly as I find it here. So the shields look really pretty on the new version. These are the backs of the shields. These, I guess the backs had something on them too. Yeah, just like a little, what do you call it, fleur-de-lis or whatever the thing's called. Yeah, so, and then on the other side you've got the different mechanisms that they're referring to for points. So these are cool. They almost look like little acorns, the way these things are shaped. But yeah, a little bit of difference. They're actually, these are actually slightly smaller. The other shields are, the new ones from the new version. And let's go ahead and look at a couple of these bonus area point tokens as well. Get a few different colors of them. Okay, so here are the new ones, the old ones. I mean, not a big deal. These are just some numbers with some color on them. It's not that special one way or the other. Honestly, the old ones almost look prettier, except that they're just kind of small. I like the way that the new ones, the numbers are a little larger. As part of the ease of this game, like what they were going for with making this prettier version of the game, they also want it to be more visible. so you didn't have so many like small things to look at, small numbers and whatnot. We've got the little bonus. I mean, gosh, I'm showing you stuff that doesn't. I'm going to real quickly just show you this. This is the bonus tokens, pretty much the exact same, almost the exact same. They're even, I think they're the same size. These are pretty much the exact same. I don't think they felt like going too special on those particular bonus markers. Points. Now, one thing they did do, though, is they did a big upgrade with some miniature pieces on this game, and so they've got, these are the round trackers, and these look really nice. They've got little spires. They're like the little tops of your rampart castle pieces or whatever. So pretty cool looking little pieces. The original, I'm trying to remember what these, I think, you know, they're, or again, not original, but the old version, they just used some, see if I can find them. I'm going to have such a mess on this table by the time I'm done. I don't know where I've got those sitting at. Oh, okay, yeah. So they just had these wooden pegs. Let's just pull one of these out because we're going to look at these dice in a second anyways too. So yeah, you do not have a green color in the new one, so if you were a fan of green, sorry. But yeah, big upgrade with these. These look much prettier, very cool, a lot more immersive. These are just little Euro tokens, little chunks of wood. And then the dice look a whole lot nicer as well. So yeah, a little extra flair on these particular ones. I really like them though. They look nice. A little larger. Again, easier to see. Okay, crates. The crates were another huge upgrade with this game. Really liked what they did with the crates. So, I'll show you the old crates. Just some cardboard pieces. And you've got the different color, you know, fully functional. You've got all the little, you know, easy to see different trade items and their numbers. But then, these new ones are made out of actual wood, and you've got some really pretty pictures on them. I really like what they did with some of the different goods that you're looking at. It's really nice. So yeah, let's look at just a few more of these crates, though. They do look really nice. Let's see if I can find some that weren't ones I already pulled out. Yeah. These just look really pretty. Really like those. Love the way that they're, you know, they just have that tactile feel. They feel like wood. They remind you of what they're supposed to be, wooden crates. Part of the immersion of this game. Okay. Another big upgrade are metal coins. Let's see what we got here. Pull a couple of these out. Okay, old coins, cardboard. I'm sure there were some upgraded ones somewhere, but I had the old cardboard ones. These are the nice new metal ones. A little fleur-de-lis on both sides. Cardboard ones. That's some guy on a little horse. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera, but they're just, you know, whatever. It's little stamped coins. Always nice to have metal coins, though. I'm not one of those people that often gets metal coins. Every now and then I will. But they're always nice to have. Here's some of the worker tokens, the old ones, little squares, fully functional, a little larger lettering or numbering on there so you can see it a little bit better. More or less the same. Again, those are things that the other acrylic set had available for you to get an acrylic version of them too. One thing that's kind of nice is you got like a man worker, then you got a woman worker on the back. So I didn't realize that at first. So that's a nice little touch. So if you want to have women workers, you can have women workers. We're all about equal opportunities in the workforce of the duchy. Okay, so I think that's all that I'm seeing right here. So let's pull out some of the expansion content. I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, there's a couple other little things here. I guess this is the new version of this little expansion that you had for, I can't remember what they call this, like a trader expansion or something. You had this little trail that you were going down. You've got, honestly, I kind of like the old one better. It's a little more clear with the images, the colors and whatnot. Maybe they're doing something different with this one to make it a little easier to see those. I don't know why they don't have the colors on this one. This one had the colors with it. So maybe there's something different going on in the rules on this new version, but I'm not seeing that right away. I know exactly what that means. So there are some cards in the new version, and I'm not sure what these are, even though I sleeved them already. Not sure what the heck these are for. Maybe they refer to those colors on that little trail. I don't know. Not sure what those. But you do have cards that go with these. And then with the expansion content, it's funny, they gave you cardboard versions of things that you already have. Unless these are marking something else. Okay. I'll show these real quick before I get into the expansion. These are like little portraits of all your dukes and duchesses, I guess. And so I would imagine they were using those for your marker for points. But you also have all these little busts that are really nice for player markers. So I'm not really sure why they have both of those in there. Unless I'm forgetting something that's supposed to be tracked. They might just be an option. I mean, the portraits look pretty, and there's certainly a different way. But otherwise, these little busts are nice, though. I mean, they got nice detail on them too. I do like the busts a lot. I like the busts. So, what else do we got in here? I don't remember if these showed up in the original. I'm not sure exactly what they're for. Maybe for having the castles covered. They might be like the point scoring areas. I don't know. These are different though, I think, in the new version of the game. Because they look like the little point markers. Okay, so I think that's all that I've got to show for the any of the old content. I don't think there's anything else standing out that I see right away here that was stuff that I missed that I could show you old content for. But the new stuff that has like the expansion content, I've got the this plastic holder that is meant to hold these wine tokens. I'm not sure exactly how these go. I'm not sure if they're supposed to go probably up like this. These little different kinds of like grapes. I'm going to be playing a game soon with Sean. I'm planning to play, and we're going to use this expansion, so we're going to learn it and figure out how this works. But this is really nice, though. It looks like you've got a little tray. It's going to hold one for all the D6 areas here. And I would imagine you're getting to place a die to take one of those. Whoops. But pretty neat. So you can probably even get, yep, you can get you a nice shot of it from up top. And these have those shiny acrylic pieces as well in them. So again, I really like the acrylic pieces. Now I can show the cardboard pieces while I'm at it that are still coming from the new version of the game. These, looks like, I've got so much stuff piled up over here. These look like they have the same colors on both sides, at least the handful that I took out here. So these are the cardboard ones though, and then again you've got the nice acrylic pieces that are just nicer. They're thicker, they feel better in your hand. You got this nice bag. So again, you have these bags that come with the new version. Does it come with the old version? You got one for the expansion content here, and then you've got one for all the other different hex pieces that would get mixed up, the ones that you would randomize. So these are really nice. One of the things I really like about these is they'll just sit nice and flat. I really like that. Again, not a problem to pick a bag up that's on its side, but they just look nice. They look really nice when they're sitting up. They all have the same artwork on them, but they've got a different color, of course. Now you've got some other of these Vineyard tokens too, and I'm again not sure exactly what they do just yet, but we do have more of those pieces again for this expansion content that's coming out. And then we've got another one of these, I'm not sure what this tracker is for. It's another thing that looks like you're rolling a dice for or something, and you've got different things that can be selected. Looks like it might cost money for it. It's got 2 coins underneath of it. Not sure about that. But last but not least, definitely not least, is this area here for your I guess your vineyards to go on, these different grape pieces. I'm not sure exactly if that's how it works, if they just cover these pieces up and then maybe you get some bonus or something according to what they're covering. But these are really nice. These are quadruple layered, so you've got 4 different layers of cardboard on top of each other, so you kind of have like a little hill that these things are going on. So it kind of looks like one of those relief maps or something. It's really neat. I wonder if I can catch the edges of that. I'm not sure if you can really see that well in the camera. Maybe you can see it up in the front camera here. But there's, yeah, those different layers. But anyways, you got the yellow is the lowest, and that kind of comes up, and you got this little 2 hex area at the top. Pretty neat though. I'm looking forward to trying those out and seeing how that works. I like the way that they even have the little edge cut out of this little house at the top too. It kind of looks neat. I think that is it. I don't have anything. Oh, let's not forget the miniatures for the castles. So I showed this in my unboxing video. I showed a lot of this stuff in my unboxing video. If you haven't seen that and you want to see what this looked like getting unboxed, feel free to check that out too. But you know, do what's best for you, of course. Might be boring content that you don't care about. So they had castle miniatures that came with this base. I didn't have to pay extra for these, beyond paying the extra for the big box itself anyways. But they have all of the, so they got a different kind of castle for each player, which is pretty cool. So they each have like a unique look to them. So one person's duchy has the little chubby short castles, and then somebody else has the tall skinny ones. And then you got things in between. So you got kind of a chunky middle-sized one and a little bit more of a spire tall pointing, you know, it's got pointing things on it. It's pretty though, they look really neat. I did not want to get the wash for these. I didn't want to purchase the wash, but you could have bought a wash with it with a Kickstarter. There's probably not going to be a good way of doing that after this Kickstarter is finished, which it certainly has at this point. But it's very easy to put a wash on things, and I feel like it's not really worth paying for personally. But a lot of people did get that, and I'm sure they look really pretty. They've got a lot of detail on them. They almost look like they're 3D printed because you can see all the different little layers from all of the brickwork. I'm sure those would come out really nicely though in a wash. And then if you wanted to add just a little bit of color, you could make them really, really pretty, just some little faded tips or whatever. But those are really nice though. I'm again really looking forward to getting this on the table. I think that's about all of the different things that I could compare for these two games. The old one is certainly still a very valid game to have. You do not have the Vineyard expansion, of course, but you have just about everything else, I believe, and it's a whole lot more portable. Again, I'm going to probably be getting rid of it soon, but this other, deluxe version, I'm pretty happy that I got it. I think it was a lot more expensive. I got this at this 20th anniversary edition. I got this one really cheap. This one was not so cheap, but it is what it is. I really like Castles of Burgundy. I think it's a worthwhile game to have deluxified. If you play Castles of Burgundy and you like it, I think it's probably worth getting the big one, just because it is so much prettier. And you can think about getting those acrylic hexes and possibly the other acrylic pieces. And if you really want to go all the way out there, you can get the full miniature set and have this like gorgeous board that takes up a giant bag in order to bring it anywhere and takes up a lot of space on the shelf, which I am running out of space. I'm going to get rid of some things. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by to watch this video. I hope you found it useful. I hope that, like, if you're trying to make a decision if you want the big box or if you think the smaller box is plenty enough for you, it really is plenty of stuff in there, then I hope this helps you to make that decision. But at the very least, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm always so appreciative of you guys watching me do all this random rambling and going on about board games. If you like this kind of content, a couple of those free clicks on the screen really help support channels like mine, and I appreciate it so much when you do. But do what's right for you, and at any length, I hope you guys are enjoying the games that you have. I hope you're enjoying Castles of Burgundy if you have it. And until next time, have a great rest of your evening. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.